Welcome to the threshold, the place of the intuitive, the mystic, the contemplative, a place to strengthen your connection to your core through mindfulness and inner wisdom. Today I want to talk about that nasty anytime virus. Don't. Don't feel resentment. Don't be angry. Don't be afraid. Don't. Have you ever heard the don'ts? I have. In fact, earlier this week, I had someone tell me, don't be resentful. Turn that into gratitude. Yeah, right. Like that has worked when you ignore resentment and instead force yourself to feel gratitude. Man, that has backfired on me a couple of times. I'm the kind of person who follows rules. It has taken me decades to give myself permission to follow my heart and not some arbitrary rules that someone else tells me I have to follow. And this is why the word don't impacts me so much. When someone who I admire talks about not being resentful, instead to find gratitude, I twine into despair. What's wrong with me if I can't make that leap? The pit of my stomach falls, and those sticky emotions, resentment, anger, and fear, have me feeling like I'm doing something wrong again. Then I return to the comment about turning resentment into gratitude. Is that really true? Should I turn those sticky feelings into gratitude? It feels like a couple of steps are missing in the process. Let's begin with the tendrils of resentment as they tangle around us. When ignored, they cut off our breath. How are we supposed to shift our energy with those feelings? I don't know about you, but I don't have a word and I don't have a magic wand to wave to make them magically turn into gratitude. So what do? Wallow in what we feel? Of course not. That would be about as productive as shifting 180 into gratitude in 6.3 seconds. How about if we name it, feel it, surrender into it, thank it, and then let it go? Name it. Life is a way of going sideways during times of high emotions. Sometimes we just can't get past the feeling into what really is there at the roots. In those moments, get quiet. Breathe. Listen to what the emotion is saying. Have a conversation with it. Then name it. So you've named the emotion, now what? Feel it. Letting it settle into our being. Just really feel it. And use all of your senses. Taste, touch, sense. The feeling, hearing, seeing, smelling. Just describe it with all of your senses. Notice it without attachment or judgment. Really become an objective observer or someone who is witnessing without getting caught in the unfolding emotion. So now you've felt it. Surrender into it. And by surrender into it, I mean just be with the emotion. Release any feelings that you have towards it, any shame or blame. Release any heartache you might have. Just let all of that go. Don't hold on to anything. Just be with it as it washes over you. Then acknowledge the root emotion and the emotions that stem from it. And so what you might discover is something that you thought was resentment might be grief or anger or fear. It might be something totally different that you won't know until you surrender into it. Let the emotion run its lifespan. And the lifespan of an emotion is typically 90 seconds from the time it hits your physical body until the time it leaves. But we hold on to it. So just be with the emotion and don't even say, oh my gosh, it should have been gone 50 seconds ago, and it's not. Just let it go. As the emotion runs through its lifetime, you're going to gain greater clarity about the root and its tendrils. Okay, so you've surrendered into it. Now it's time to let it go. So, unlike surrender, letting go has an active component. We consciously and intentionally release the emotion. And in this stage, we discover what tangle of emotions, what that really needs to teach us. We may even feel gratitude for the lesson and the challenges that it presents. Being able to move from resentment or anger or fear is a process. At the end, we may feel gratitude, or we may just feel relief of understanding, or we may feel something totally different. It's about your journey. It's about what you're feeling, and not what you should feel, but what you do feel. It may take moments or days to move through this process, or because our emotions are our emotions. They are what they are. As long as we do not use their force to hurt ourselves or another person, then they're ours to engage and release in our own time. Remember that, in our own time. If you're feeling that you need some help in releasing those in your own time, as a contemplative coach, I use mindfulness practices and intuitive techniques really to help you discover ways to identify what's going on in your life and then listen to your inner wisdom to see how you will move forward. So I want to thank you for listening to me. There are additional, or watching me, there are additional resources at vanessafhurst.com. No matter what you do today, I want you to get in touch with where you are. Namaste.